This video is looking at tennis elbow and massage. Tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis is a problem with the tendons that attach the muscles of the wrist and the fingers to the bone on the outer part of the elbow. Golfer's elbow, by contrast, medial epicondylitis, is very similar except it affects the tendons on the outside part of the elbow. While it can be caused by inflammation of the tendons, tendinitis, it's not always so straightforward, and the nerves, muscles and joints around the tendons are often implicated. Tennis elbow is a self-limiting condition. It doesn't spread to anywhere else. Nobody dies from it. And with rest and major treatment, it recovers within about 12 months. But that doesn't mean it's not painful. Tennis elbow affects men and women equally, with the main age group suffering from it being in their 40s to 60s, though there's been a rise in younger people suffering from it due to gaming and mobile phone use. Tennis or golfer's elbow is caused by the overuse of the arm, both in length of use and strength of use. Diagnosis is normally made by a doctor from the description of the symptoms. If the pain's accompanied by tingling, then further investigation is usually required just to check there's no potential nerve damage. Pain from tennis elbow isn't present all of the time, but it will be more noticeable when lifting, twisting or bending the arm or trying to hold small objects such as a pen or a hairbrush. The pain will primarily be felt on the outside of the top of the forearm, just below the bend of the elbow. Pain from golfer's elbow will be felt with the same activities, but the pain's usually felt on the inner bottom part of the elbow. Pain for both conditions often starts with a sharp pain on impact or with a strenuous use, which becomes more frequent with a dull ache felt most of the time. Like many other inflammatory overuse conditions, the main treatment is rest and ice, but it is important to keep the area gently moving so it doesn't seize up further. The muscles in the affected area need to be strengthened and the tendons stretched. A physiotherapist might recommend resisted stretches, or if this is within the scope of your training and practice and your insurance, then it's something you can give details on. There's two specific contraindications. The key thing is not to massage the area immediately around or inside the elbow, as that could cause further irritation and therefore further inflammation. And secondly, if the pain is accompanied by tingling, a loss of sensation, they need to be medically checked out just to rule out any additional complications. The good news is there's some great massage treatments that we can give to help treat tennis and golfer's elbow. We start any treatment with a detailed handwork shown in the earlier video, so if you've skipped past that, you're going to need to go back and look at that. After that, we're going to focus on two specific areas, the forearm and the neck, specifically the scalene muscles. For some people, any touch can be too much, and then what it needs is rest and ice. But after this initial very tender phase has passed, you can then start to work into the muscles. When you've worked on the hand and then up into the arm, remember you're stopping about 3 finger widths, that's 3 of the client's finger widths, from the crease of the elbow on the top of the arm. You can work all around the circumference of the arm here, and you'll find that there's some particular tender spots. These tender spots are the areas you need to work on, and you can now use static pressure. Just press and hold with your thumbs. Maintain a steady pressure on that one point. Don't increase it, don't decrease it, but ask your client to report when the tenderness of the point drops and all they can feel then is your thumb on it. Then do the upper arm work, and it's helpful to do the head and neck work here first too, to free up any tension coming down. Having warmed up the upper arm, we can then do the same thing. Starting 3 finger widths up, feel for the tight spots, use static pressure to release it. We'll demonstrate that now in our work with the client. So we look at the practical work around tennis elbow. Remember, we've already done that hand and the detailed arm work, so if you've not done that already, come back to do that first, because this is what we're adding to the treatment. This is the one you'll remember we said where we're going to work 3 of the client's finger width below the elbow. So I'm going to ask Gordon to place his hands there just so I get the marker. The reason we use the client's fingers, if you see my fingers against Gordon's, I'll be working in the wrong place. I'll be working higher up, but I need to work at the bottom of the 3 of his finger widths. Thank you, Gordon. And we're working with static pressure all the way around. You'll find some places you press, there's not much resistance. You can move on from them. Other places you press, you'll suddenly find that there's resistance there, and your client will report, ow, that's tender. They're the spots that you need to work. So that's where the muscle's been kind of held. That's where the tension is there in the muscle. So we need to move them. and it's just static pressure. The key thing is you're moving all the way around that bend, all the way around that line rather. So we're working right round. This is another tight spot there. And I can just feel the resistance. So where there's no tension in the muscle, you can kind of press into it and there's no great resistance. When you hit one of those really tight spots, the muscle kind of pushes you off. It really fights back. And that's what you're just holding. And you're just holding that until it releases. Now, as you become more familiar with the hand and arm work, you won't need to do this as a separate thing. You'll just be able to integrate it. So you'll have done the hand work, you'll come up the arm. As you get to here, you'll suddenly find that tight spot. And you won't need the 3 finger widths anymore because the muscles will tell you. But just to begin with, do that client 3 finger width. We're then going to do the same at the top of the arm. So again, I'm going to ask Gordon to, starting here right in the elbow crease, to put his 3 finger widths. And I'm working just above that. Thank you. And again, instantly, I can feel that resistance there in the muscle. You can see it. See that muscle pinging under my touch. So I'm just going to hold that. Now we can integrate this, as we said, with the general arm work. So if it's not releasing after a minute or two, go back, do some more arm work and then come back to it. Do some more arm work and then come back to it. Just keep coming back to it until it releases. But each time, hold it for a good minute in between. You're working all the way around. Be careful on the inner arm. Use less pressure on the inner arm because this is an area that will bruise, particularly in women. You can use your finger if that's easier to get to. You can get clever and you can use 2 spots at once. So you can do your finger at the back and the thumb at the front if your client's happy with that. So you're kind of gripping either side. Integrate it in with our arm work and you'll find that that will give the relief in the elbow, because we can't work, remember, on the elbow itself because we've got inflammation there, which is why we're working above and below.